There we go. Here at the Saras, we're gonna have a nice sophisticated conversation about some certain flesh and blood topics. Got to enjoy the port, the harbor of Barcelona. Beach in the back. Nice little infinity pool. Check out Sarah Angels, Barcelona. Nice little 5-star boutique hotel. And we have some opinionated runaways that will drop some knowledge. We have a spicy Fabled Hunters episode lined up for you, but first, we'd like to ask you for your support.
We're asking for your support for our Patreon for Fabled Hunters. That also goes to support our team, FaBled Runaways.
Fabled Runaways.
We just had a huge score this national season.
You don't say!
We're the U.S. national champs.
Thanks to Charles Dunn of the Fabled Runaways. We had 4 out of 8, 50% of the top 8.
And Singapore,
because of Gordon Co. Let's go, Gordon Co. We're finally making a name for ourselves, and we appreciate everybody's support.
If you want to check out our Patreon, we'll include a link in the description below. For $5 a month, you get access to our, at this point, pretty extensive backlog of videos. We also come out with 2 videos at least every month that talk about personal finances and also the mindset of how to win.
All the proceeds will go to Yuanji and the Runaways. I'm not keeping any of it. I'm also giving my own contribution outside of this channel. So please join us on this journey and let's go Runaways, everybody. All right. Welcome to Fabled Hunters.
I'm Yuanji.
I'm Pheano.
I'm Saint.
And today we're gonna open up a can of worms.
Oh, a can of... How is it a can of worms already? How can we assume that it's a can of worms?
Yeah, maybe. We're talking about living legend format.
Yeah.
Wait, we're not opening more packs?
Yeah.
Unlucky.
We ran out of packs though.
We ran out of packs. Yes, the alpha product was all that I brought.
We're here to talk about living legend format. So I think there's a lot of things that are happening in Flesh and Blood in the year 2024.
We're by the way, we're 2 bottles in, so we're a little toasty. Let me just give that disclaimer.
A little toasty.
Full transparency, just a little toasty.
Yeah.
I'm always toasty. That's my secret cap.
You can't show your feet on video. Put this away.
Pheano. It's Pheano.
They have to go to the Patreon for that.
Paywall.
You're very derailed now.
You broke my thought.
No, so living legend status. Living legend format.
We're going to ramble about Living Legend and why it needs to be the cornerstone of FaB moving into the future.
I believe it will be the cornerstone of FaB in the future.
Next to Classic Constructed, Draft, PvE,
yep,
and then Living Legend. Not necessarily in that order. If it were up to me, I'd put Living Legend at the top.
At the first, yeah.
Maybe PvE at the top. I love me some PvE.
Maybe. So I think there's we're probably going to do a long game episode about this as it relates to the financials.
Join our Patreon.
Yeah, $4.99 per month.
Includes feet pics.
It does not.
Oh, no.
Not for free.
Yeah, but I think that Flesh and Blood as a whole is doing a lot of things in 2024 from what I think we saw in the announcement, in the lead up into Worlds, that I'm very excited about.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I missed half of that announcement because I was talking about Prism with the devs. But I saw the picture of it on Twitter and it looked promising.
Yeah, so it's just like, in general, there's a lot of things that they're doing, from introducing more events, from having Living Legend format, to making different product decisions.
Yep.
Making all the sets draftable, whatever. In general, I think they're leveling up the game's accessibility, the game's collectability, the game's fun and like long-lasting appeal.
Yep.
And so now we just had the very first Living Legend like major tournament, Battle Hardened. We're number 1, number 2, and number 3. We're all Runaways. No, don't
Well,
play
it's
Gordon.
2.5. Gordon's like a half a runaway.
Oh, come on. Don't be mean to Gordon
No,
Cole.
no,
Let's fucking go.
No. It would be mean to claim him after we kicked him.
No, he said he was still a runaway.
Okay.
Maybe in spirit.
He reclaimed his runaway status.
If he's cool with it.
He's cool with it.
I didn't want to.
He was a runaway the whole time.
Even Sean has been a runaway at heart. He just can't be a runaway right now because of scheduling.
Wait, does that mean
Runaways for life, gentlemen?
Wait, does that mean
No,
Brody's
that's the Wolf Pack motto.
Wait, doesn't that
Is
mean-
it? We got to make a better motto. then.
Runaways for as long as we want you to be on.
As long as you're winning.
So, a long time ago, when we first started making videos, I had a conversation with Saint about the strengths and weaknesses of Flesh and Blood as a game. And I said that Flesh and Blood, more than anything else, really captures the idea of immersing you in the game because you pick a hero. That is your character. All the cards you play, those are your moves as you're like doing the fight.
That was a big selling point to me getting into the game.
Yeah,
Like,
you talked about it like it was like Street Fighter. You're the character. You're like in combat, whatever. That's the main appeal, right?
It is.
wait,
It
I just
is.
realized this is almost set up like top 8 MTG. We're gonna call this guy Arclight Humphrey.
Okay.
and then so the fact that Magic, I think, went towards trying to become more character focused by introducing planeswalkers
yeah.
and stuff like that, and getting people to and commanders and getting people to associate with characters within the game.
Which makes sense why that got me into FaB, because I'm actually, most people probably don't know this, but prior to like becoming a part of the FaB circuit, I'm actually a commander player.
Yu-Gi-Oh? No? I thought you were
I mean, I
Yu-Gi-Oh
played
player.
Yu-Gi-Oh like an eon ago. Those are dark days. It was a bad relationship. It took me a while to get out of it. I think I might have had some Stockholm syndrome.
Bad
But,
romance. There we go.
It be what it be. But I'm actually primarily a commander, like, casual focused player.
Okay.
And that was what got me into FaB, seeing that like character player identity and finding something that you could like really jive with and
Okay.
kind of be an extension of your play style. Like one of the things that was so big to me in FaB is like my deck feels like a really big extension of me and how I play and my expression and how I play it.
Uh-huh.
And that never felt like that was the case in Magic. I loved Magic. I still love Magic deep in my heart and want to come back to it someday if it ever like
If it
got
ever
better.
unfucks itself from
Yeah,
Hasbro.
yeah, yeah. Like
right?
I'm. That's the X that you say have the phone number still saved, but
Yeah.
but
Just delete it.
I don't
look
think it's
back at-
coming back personally. That's why I'm on the
I
FaB
look her up
train.
on Facebook sometimes fondly, but
Yeah.
like every time I'm like, no,
No,
it's still toxic.
no.
Still
She can't even
toxic.
get the tip.
I think one of the things that originally LSS sold on the Living Legend system was after your character goes through Living Legend,
Yep.
they'll make a replacement.
Yep.
And so I think
I'm still waiting.
No, you got yours. You
Well-
got Prism 2, bro.
So I think that they still need to kind of work on some things. But like for example, I think them making a second Prism card, even if it isn't necessarily really great, it's a good move because there's some people who really like Prism, and like you spend a lot of time trying to make Prism good.
I still have that identity with the character, and I'm waiting. Like I will jump on that the second it's good.
Yeah, but I think
Even remotely good, I'm gonna jump on it. Like,
Well, the
tier
day Draw
two-
My Dies is where, or
No,
Draw My
no.
Ascends
Yeah,
is where
yeah.
Prism has her spotlight.
yeah. So, but then they
Arclight.
make they made Vinset as the new Shadow Rune Blade.
Yep.
And I think that while a lot of people do like Vinset, and we got on the Runaways YouTube channel, we got a lot of positive feedback for our Vinset videos. Like Vinset is a good hero design in my opinion. She's not necessarily the strongest right now, but she's a fun hero to play. She's
was-
not the same as Chain.
I always heard you guys saying that when you were playing it on Discord, just like, oh, this is so fun sequencing and everything.
Yeah.
Just like the puzzle solving of it.
Yeah, but she's not Chain. She's more of like a Chain Viserai hybrid in terms of identity. And I think that like the most important thing, and what we talked about earlier, saying you and I,
Yep.
was that the hero aspect, the character aspect of Flesh and Blood is so crucial to the strength of retaining players, of having them stay engaged with the product, so that it's like, okay, I haven't followed up for Flesh and Blood for the last, 2 years. I took a break. Life got busy.
Dorinthia sucks. Make Dorinthia great again. Make Dorinthia great again, LSS.
But it's like, I come back.
Wait,
I'm
she's
bringing-
been the same for the past like 4 years, right? Well, there's nothing to come back to.
No, but it's like
Heavy hitters. I believe. I believe.
Hopium.
yeah, but it's like I come back 2 years later. I'm bringing my Dorinthia deck to the next armory. Who cares if it's good or bad, right?
Yeah.
It's like that. I want to play Dorinthia, and I think that the way that Classic Constructed is shaping out to be, with them making the changes to how many points things get, updating weekly, I think their positioning...
It feels more rotational.
Yeah, they're positioning Classic Constructed to be the more metagame interesting format.
Standard/Pioneer.
Yeah, where it's
MTG.
like we change every so often, every set release, to keep the most invested players still interested.
Yep.
But the most invested players are never the cornerstone, or never the backbone of any TCG. You want to get the players who are invested, but at their own pace.
Tabletop players, armory players, the casual players.
Players who just, they have like a couple of Flesh and Blood decks at their house.
Yep.
Their friends come over for game night. They're like, hey, you guys want to check out this game, Flesh and Blood?
Want to fab out?
Ricardo, this video's for you.
No, but I think those players are honestly the most important players, because those players are the ones who, like, maybe every so often they're going to buy a booster box, and maybe, like, the people who go to the LGS, they'll buy, I don't know, 1 case, 2 cases. They buy 8 times as much. But you know what? There's more than 8 times as many people who are willing to put that small amount of investment to just, like, buy a box every so often.
Or, like, every time they go to their armory, they buy, like, 3 to 5 packs just to, like... the great example, one of the players at my armory, every single week he would come, he'd buy a couple Everfest packs. Why? Because he just loves playing Guardian, and he didn't have a Grandeur. He just was always trying to hunt down that Grandeur, and he actually finally hit it. I kissed the pack, and he opened it. Whoa! It's the Grandeur, and he went crazy. Like you
Wait.
that.
I do appreciate showing love to the people that buy 1 or 2 boxes and the people that buy packs. But what about us mofos that buy pallets of every set? Like, come on now. Why the hate? Why the hate?
No hate.
Evil investor.
No, but you know that
Evil investor.
No, but say you know that the people who don't necessarily buy the most, it's important to get a lot of them on board.
Okay, that's fair.
And it's just like, we can't have a $1.5 million prize pool, like a year of Flesh and Blood organized play, if
that didn't come out of thin air.
If it's only like pro players like buying product, it's just not going to happen. Like, realistically,
that's
pro
the Battle
players
Spirits model.
Pro players are the most like min-maxy, whatever. They're never going to try to like bleed EV. Like these are like the players who just have a deep love of the game, who just like enjoy collecting cards, who just enjoy like opening packs.
Wait, but you always bleed EV.
I don't want to talk about that right now.
Unlucky.
I don't want to talk about that. I need them. So back to the original topic, Living Legend.
Yes.
I'm trying.
This is gonna make such a great video. Oh my god. 3 drunk FaB bros.
Good luck staying on topic with me.
I'm trying. I'm trying to keep the
back to Living Legend. Yes.
Stare back.
Yes.
So back to Living Legend.
He's driving the school bus or the short bus.
There's 2 hands on the wheel. Both are stupid.
No, but like back to Living Legend format. I think that a lot of and you talked about one of the things that got you into the game. The idea that you can find a character that you really enjoy, that you identify with.
Let me describe how I got into FaB and how it felt to me getting in. So
Pheano.
When I got into FaB, no one explicitly described it this way to me. It was not marketed this way to me. It's not like I was sold a lie or anything like this. But this is how it felt to me getting into the game. I got in, and I see these different characters, and I see the vision of what it seems like what they're trying to do with the game, and it feels like I can pick a hero, I can pick a class, something that I jive with, and just go deep on that and master it, and just like
balls deep. Let's do it.
This is my.
We're not playing just a tip.
This is my tribe. This is my everything. All this deck is an extension of me.
From the window
it also means that I
to
can
the wall.
financially go deep on it Because, like, oh, if I'm just playing the one deck, I can put all my money into it. Like, you know, you see a lot of casual players do with their EDH decks. It's like,
there's an entire
EDH
community dedicated to an almost unplayable hero, the League of
Prism?
Leviah.
Yeah. And as there was Azalea, right, before?
No, as is
The Cult of Azalea.
Cult of Azalea.
No, but it's just like there's entire communities who latch on to these characters that
You don't have
the studios
communities for, like, black-blue mid-range.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not a thing. So, you know, I get in, and I'm sold this kind of
scam
dream that I can do this. And, you know, lo and behold, I get real good at Prism, and I start actually doing well at events. And she's gone. And it feels like, well, now what? Okay, I get real good at Dromai. I'm finally starting to place with the hero again. I finally got to the point that I can convert.
Dromai's good for Pheano, because no tunics with Dromai. There you go, big brain.
And now that I'm at the point that I feel like I'm comfortable with the deck, I've got all my game plans down, I finally feel like at a point of mastery with the deck.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at her living legending, and like I literally
wait. She's only at 600 points or so.
Well,
right?
she won Worlds. She would have almost living legended.
But she did not.
Well, we went into this tournament going, she might be the best deck of the format. She was very likely to win.
But it turns out it was a janky Fi.
Well, it turns out my illusionist players aren't good at converting.
Okay.
Who knew?
I think illusionist is just not that good.
That's a separate thought.
That is non sequitur. That has nothing to do with the living legend conversation.
What we're looking at for a number of points going forward.
Like it's possible that within one season, Dromai's out. It's possible that within
Like, if we have a qualifier season before the next Pro Tour, we'll have all those points. We're going to have all the Battle Hardens and Callings. But there is a world where I can't play Dromai at the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
After all this time I put into the deck, I can't put it, like... And I understand that's what they're currently going for. And, you know, I will have faith in their vision. I have faith in LSS and what they're trying to do with the game. And I am willing to believe in what they're doing and be patient.
Mm-hmm.
But I can still call it what it is in the moment of it doesn't feel good, and that I don't like having my hero taken from me. There comes in Living Legend, though.
Yeah.
And that's where... And, a point I was also trying to make, when I'm like going deep on a deck, it means that I can feel safe putting my money into
balls
it.
Deep,
balls
windows to the wall, till the sweat drops down his balls.
Like, I literally... So right after Nationals, you're having a great time here. You're like, oh no, there's two of them now. Oh no!
Plus alcohol.
So after Nationals, I felt like I finally earned having Marvel Dragons in my deck, and I started collecting them after that. I didn't feel like I'm weird like that. I feel like I gotta earn it before I can use it. And now I'm looking at her living legending already. It's like, well, I just fucking got these cards, and now, should I just get rid of them?
Bro,
Am I supposed to just sell them?
To be fair, I just want to say that there are murmurs within the Legend Story Studios development crew that I feel that they always wanted Dromai to be competitive and go deep, but they feel that Dromai just doesn't have it in her to take down a major event, right?
That's what I'm saying.
But that said, that means Dromai's going to stay around for a little longer because she's not going to get the 100, 200, 300 points. Right?
I think they nerfed the crap out of her in development, but that's a separate thing. No, I think it doesn't matter. Like, the point isn't that it's Dromai. It makes me feel nervous
putting my money where my mouth is on something like that, where it's like...
But Living Legend, you can put your money where your mouth is.
If my deck is good, and it's like, I'm playing Lexi, like, it's the meta deck.
Yeah.
Do I want to max rarity my Lexi deck?
Not really.
Probably
really.
Not.
Like,
it'll rotate out in 4 or 5 months, right?
Like, now I don't feel great getting these Marvel codexes and shit. But these are the selling points of the set. And this is like, I want to feel that good dopamine hit when I open these packs and get these fancy cardboard things. I am an enjoyer of shiny cardboard, much like most of you people out there watching this. And it feels like the wind taken out of my sail in that kind of situation. And that kind of sucks. But Living Legend, as we're moving into that conversation, I think that can be the future for a lot of FaB.
We've never left the conversation. Just the tangents have been very
They're
widespread.
all over the place. We circle back. It's fine. We have fun here. But, like, for instance, with Living Legend, like, I feel like that's addressing that part of me that I felt like was not necessarily sold to me, but through my tangent, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Of like, that was what I wanted out of FaB.
Yeah.
And now it feels like that's what
It's on the way. It's coming.
That
It's
feels
coming.
like what I will get out of FaB
Yep.
from Living Legend. I can have this deck mastery forever with a
Yep.
hero.
And
I can bling it out. I can.
If you're a Kano simp, you're gonna get the cold foil eye, for example,
and,
right?
And I think I wanted to talk about the idea of buying higher rarity cards, and this is something that I think we'll do an episode of long game.
Long game, yeah.
On. But I think on this channel, I think what we can say is that foils and high rarity cards in Flesh and Blood aren't treated commensurate to their rarity
Yet.
the same way that they would be in other games.
Given how rare and how scarce they are
currently. And
hey, by the way, guys, on the collector side, if that isn't a buying, you can rewind the past 30 seconds. If that is not a buying tip, I don't know what is. You're getting free feedback.
No financial advice.
Yes, not financial advice. Free feedback on the future of Flesh and Blood and where speculative assets.
Kind of a side
remain.
thought too. Like you're gonna elaborate on this more, but like. Another problem that I've been having with FaB recently is it feels like boxes can be unexciting to open. Where like you look at a box of Pokemon and you've got dopamine hit after
You've got like
dopamine
14
hit.
hits in a 36-pack
And
box.
some of
like
the
the
hits
hits-
just like they're like 30 cents or whatever. They're like,
We're
cool.
like,
But they look cool.
I
But
got
they
this
look
EX.
cool.
It's crazy looking, but it's like it's just your Majestics in the box essentially.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I got a Figment into the pile. Like you don't get that same level of dopamine hit. So you're basically just looking for like your legendary and maybe a Marvel and maybe your foil Majestic.
Well, we did a video on Long Game about Majestics, and I think that there's some more thoughts to be had on that as things develop. But I agree with you where I think that Majestics, and especially expansion slot Majestics, if they continue to do expansion slot in the future,
the expansion slot as a design choice for sets moving forward. I think that was like a great.
That was great for Bright
idea
Lights.
for
That
how
was
to, like-
innovative. However, since Pheano just mentioned it like a minute ago, I have to say, Uprising Marvels, thumbs up.
Best pack opening experience ever.
I agree. Dust Till Dawn Marvels, still thumbs up because the Angels,
Prism
right?
Simp, you get a thumbs up.
As well as Levia, right? Except
Thumbs down on
Bright
Levia.
Bright Lights Marvels.
I mean, I think part of that though is just like those heroes aren't good right now.
No, but the Marvels
No,
themselves,
the
a
Marvel-
presentation
the
of the
Marvels
Marvels,
just look like
not
regular,
being full art.
No,
They look like fancy cold
Marvels
foils.
just look like cold foils. So
Okay, I thought they looked cool, but sure, I can see where you're going with that.
And I have to say that LSS members have addressed that concern, and some people have also shared and been sympathetic.
they know about it. They know about it.
Yeah, they know.
I think that every set they experiment in new ways, and I think that expansion slot was a new experiment.
Plus, yep.
It was a new experiment, and I think that there's still things that they can tune.
Expansion Marvel Dragons.
Like I personally think that expansion slot should be more frequently occurring than it currently is.
So you want the list?
No. I mean, like, I have my own views on like card rarities in general. I think that like the Majestics in general should be slightly higher occurring because of their status as people will hate me for saying game pieces.
But they are game pieces
That's
for now.
that's a taboo word. Apparently.
Why?
Like
Because
pitch
Rudy
stack?
says it all the time.
Like pitch stack?
No. Well, pitch stack is banned, but game pieces because like in Magic, it's like all the collectors are like you can't call them game pieces. I don't know.
But now they're game pieces. We're in the game piece era of Magic the Gathering.
where nothing costs anything. So I think there's like a middle ground. But I think as like for people who want to get cards to be able to play with them, there's things that you can do to make cards more accessible. But I did want to talk about the idea that these Majestics, being longer term, being able to be used for a long period of time. You play Dorinthia, you collect the Dorinthia Majestics, for example, right?
Yeah.
Your Steelblade Supremacy, you can play that in Living Legend format. It's
Forever.
like 3 years from now, unless it's...
And it's still gonna be a good card.
Unless they ban it.
And you can play it in Classic Constructed for like 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Probably
No.
6 years.
Low blow, Pheano. Low blow. Come on, man.
No, but it's like let's say Dorinthia becomes really cool.
Because of heavy hitters.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
because they print some cards that make her like, oh, she's like doing all these like crazy powerful things now. And you as a Dorinthia enjoyer saint, you don't play the game actively, but you follow it.
I will if Dorinthia's playable again.
but I'm saying, so like, let's say you find out after the fact, let's say like half a year after the fact, you're like, what? And I tell you, we have a conversation, you're like, what, Dorinthia's playable again? I'm like, yeah, saying she's busted. She living legended out in like 3 months. And you're like, no, I can't, like, I missed my chance.
That actually literally happened with one of my friends. With old Tim, he took a break to do some school stuff.
Yeah.
Came back. He's like, I'm ready to play again. He's living legend. That literally happened.
Yeah, it's like let's say you have a busy year with your business, right? You can't like really be playing card games that often. And I'm like messaging you. I'm like, oh, saying, yo, Dorinthia's nuts right now. Like, you gotta get, when you have time, like, get back into the game and play.
Yep.
And when you have time, let's say in like 5 months, she's gone and you can't play her, and that sucks. And you. I know you have max rarity Dorinthia available to you.
Yes.
I know you have all the nice stuff. And it sucks as a player and as like a player collector not being able to use those pieces that you've like spent your time, your money trying to get.
Yep.
And Living Legend format, you're like, I don't think that Living Legend format is ultimately going to be like the most competitive format. Nor do I think it necessarily should be.
Or does it need to be?
Yeah.
But it can be the pimp format, right? It can be the pimp
it needs
format.
to be a cornerstone of the game, though.
Yeah.
That's like supported.
Mm-hmm.
You can go and play events for it. It's not just some meme format that
No,
like.
I agree.
Like I think it needs to be something that most players in the game, if you ask them, they're like, yeah, I got a classic deck and a Living Legend deck. Yeah, I play sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
Like I have it in my roster. It's it's a reasonable thing to have. It's not like, oh, well, I don't have one because there's no events near me that do it.
I agree. So my point is that I don't need Living Legend to be at the Pro Tour. I don't need Living Legend to be at Nationals. I just need LSS to be like, oh, there's like 4 or 5 Living Legend callings a year. There's Living Legend Battle Hardens. There's Living Legend like skirmish events.
What if they made Living
think-
Legend into the Worlds format? That would be interesting, right?
I have mixed feelings.
Okay.
I think if the format's good, I'm fine with that. If it's like 8 Starvos, 16 Starvos in the top.
Yeah.
No. I actually think Skirmish is the real good one to start with because I don't think making it like a Pro Quest or Archer National season is where you really want to be yet. Maybe never. We'll see. But like right now, no. I think Skirmish is a great place for it because I think you want people to like. I think Armories probably isn't really appropriate, like unless you have a community for it already.
If you have a store, like, but I think it will.
But I think Skirmish incentivizes. So I think Skirmish
Yeah.
incentivizes people to
Try new
build their
things.
first deck.
Try new
Go
things,
out of their
build
way and go,
things.
hey,
Yep.
I want this playmat, I want this foil. I'm gonna get off my butt and actually make this deck.
Yeah.
And now you've got community interest in the format organically already from it.
Yeah.
Well, now that was kind of fun. Do you guys want to play any more of that? Now we can start running armories because everyone already built a deck.
Yeah.
And you can transition from there. I mean, it doesn't even have to be Skirmish. It can be something else. Like, I keep going back to the Welcome to Wrath farewell event. That was one of my favorite events of all time in FaB. Like, I think just having more, like, random things like that would be good for the game, especially when we have down seasons where there's fuck all going on.
Yeah.
Just like some rando event, like Living Legend month. Like we just like have a season. There's no qualifier. We could have gold foil rares and majestics given out for something without an invite attached to it.
Yeah. Like I wanted to give like a Magic anecdote that I have. So I remember playing in Magic Modern format a while ago. And Modern is this kind of interesting format where it was when I was playing like 10 years ago, where there aren't enough Modern formats that the meta really got solved. It's different now, but at the time that was the case.
Okay.
And so people would enjoy playing Modern, and they would play like all these like random decks. Like there's this guy at my local store who like played Mill all the time, and he could win games playing Mill. And I think Living Legend format kind of fits into that niche where it's like it's not the main format of the competitive circuit, but there are some tournaments, and we're not like gonna just like dump you with all this like results data so that everything gets solved or whatever. But it's like a cool thing where you can feel comfortable that if you pick a hero that has some powerful things that you can do every couple of games, like you'll be able to do what you want to do. and you'll be able to do that for as long as you want to keep playing the game.
Okay. So you can still stay loyal to your hero and play style no matter what.
And also, like, where the power level is, it means that you can throw more shit at the wall and see what sticks, too. It's not just, like, a lot of the current design of FaB now feels like, how do I get above 13 value every turn?
Yeah.
Where the old card design and just with higher power level stuff, it's more just
it's like Blitz with 40 life.
Yeah, it's like, I gotta play towards these power turns. Like, how do I do crazy shit? And people have fun with crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Busted
Commander,
stuff.
Modern,
Yeah.
like, people are like, look at this stupid combo I just did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want a format where that's the only thing that you do, but, like, people have fun with that. You gotta... I don't feel like the Johnny is being scratched too much right now in FaB, where it's just, like, the spikes are being scratched, and the Timmies, they're getting tickled. But, like, the Johnnies, it's just like, I got 14 value out of my turn. I did it. It's like, that's not that exciting.
Yeah, so
we saw
By
a
the
bit
way,
of that.
quick tangent, just a quick question. Is it fair to call Awakening Pulverize on Starvo the channel fireball of Flesh and Blood?
Wait, are we rebranding?
The channel
Pulverize?
/ Awakening Pulverize or Awakening X big attack?
Oh, Awakening Pulverize.
No, I think similar. Like it's that kind of like
Stop the press. Cut the video. We're changing now. Go to the YouTube and change it.
Yeah.
Or is it more like a Skeletor / Sonata?
No. I think
channel
Awakening
fireball?
is kind of like Channel Fireball, and I think like similar to Channel Fireball, they should probably do something about it. No,
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. 8 Starvos and Living Legend.
No, but like I'm not saying that the
Get a handle on your formats.
I'm not saying that the format is perfect, but I think that the format represents an aspect of TCG playing that is appealing to a lot of people that are currently getting let down by...
I will say, even though I didn't get the result I wanted from that event, that was the most fun I've had playing FaB in a long time.
You got to play Prism?
Yeah.
I mean, I got to play Prism, but it was also like the way the game plays is just different. I have way more fun playing FaB when it's like playing towards these specific turns that matter. Like, if you leak a point of value, like on a turn cycle here and there, like, oh, you got like slightly above rate, I went slightly below rate, I played a blue, you played a red, like, man, the game's not just over because you cast a red and I cast a blue. Because these big turns.
That's what
matter.
It feels like right now in CC.
Okay.
And like these big turns is all not all that matters, but like there's so much more important. And playing towards these like these game plans and things, it's more exciting, and it's more fun, and it can feel rewarding. It's entertaining. This is a game at the end of the day, and doing your cool thing is entertaining. Like saying,
That's very Johnny, right?
Yes. Like I don't feel like we're scratching the Johnny here.
But Living Legends can do that.
You always got to scratch Johnny.
You got to scratch a Johnny?
On a scale of 1 to Johnny, how done are you right now?
I'll find my way.
All right. We're going kind of deep.
All right.
We're all right. We're kind of going a little deep in the time of the episode. I want to, bring it all back. I have a question that I'll lead with, and you guys can, discuss amongst yourselves. But
Results.
Let me ask you guys: within the next 5 to 10 years, is it viable that Living Legend format surpasses CC, or not really? 5 to 10 years.
I think that Living Legend format will surpass CC in 5 years in player popularity. I don't think that it will surpass CC in terms of organized play.
Okay.
I agree with that.
But I think that Living Legend is more like the commander of Flesh and Blood.
More than
well,
UPF.
that's because we don't have PvE yet, also.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that it's like that type. I think I would like for them to develop Living Legend in that way, where it's more casual oriented than like casual play oriented or less serious competitively oriented.
Okay.
I will say, too, because, like, on that same thought, one of the biggest turnoffs I've seen recently of new player engagement with the game, or even, like, people that have been sticking around for a long time in my community, and just, like, the people that have been losing interest in the game, it's just how damn hard FaB is. And when the game gets more grindy, it becomes way more apparent how hard the game can be. Where like before, you could still get wins just going ooga booga, play your cards because you played more funny cards than your opponent did.
Can you do ooga booga again, Pheano?
Ooga booga. Because like, I drew my I drew my Awakening Pulverize. Like, I did the funny thing and I made the happy brain chemicals and I got a win.
I showed them the crayons. I played Art of War, the blood deck card.
Yes, where like it's you have less of that in CC, but also it's when it's so grindy, the games get so much harder. Where you get people not getting the feedback loop that makes them want to play the game more.
Yeah, like people don't. Okay, as a competitive player and as somebody who's like always trying to get better, it's satisfying to be like, oh, I should have blocked 2 here.
I lost this game 16 turns ago, but I blocked for 2.
I missed the point of damage. That's good for me, but for a lot of people, it'll be like, I don't want to be like, oh, I already lost the game, and now we're just like playing out to the conclusion. Mm-hmm. I want it to be like, oh, I always have a chance. But
they also will never figure that out sometimes.
Sure.
Like, there's no feedback loop. They don't know that they leaked 1 point here and that decided the entire game.
Yeah.
And like, there's just no feedback loop.
Yeah, so it's a little bit better when it's like, hey, I did this like really powerful thing.
I hit him for 7 and it turned on his Awakening. I get it. I know where I lost. Like, I let him play Awakening. He activated Scalata when he had a 5-card hand, and I didn't like push him on that turn. Maybe I should play Command and Conquer when I see my opponent's nursing an arsenal and has 14 Rune Chants in play.
Yeah.
Like, you have these more obvious moments because the big turns are very obvious when they happen, and they're very You're like, that was very telegraphed that was about to happen, and maybe I can learn from that in the future because the game is about this turn right here.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, like, to that point, I think it's more about game balance, and I think that CC, it can, like, swing, like, either way, but I think the most important thing for me for Living Legend format is the fact that I can keep my knowledge of these things, of how my character plays, and step away from the game for months, for years, and then when I come back, I'll be able to keep my knowledge.
It's like riding a bike, right?
The game will change, obviously. New cards will get printed.
Of course.
Things will change. But as far as playing my deck, as far as playing my Dorinthia deck, I will know that I am trying to hit Dawnblade twice. And maybe they gave me some new cards to try to do that. And I think that's overall net positive for the game in the long run.
Okay. And Pheano, can you answer the question about 5 years to 10 years from now? Do you see it surpassing CC or the standard of the format?
I agree with what Yuanji said on that. I can see it pass in some capacity, but not the other. I'm tired.
Well, because LSS is going to presumably,
I mean, it is on them first. They got to be the ones to.
They're
push
going to dictate the organized play format.
Yeah,
right?
I think not in OP. That's what I said.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think they really can, and like
it's too hard to balance.
But also, like, you don't want to make players feel like they have this crazy knowledge gap as the baseline of entering the game. Like, that's not good for new players. Yeah. This is good for enfranchised players. And the enfranchised
it's good for keeping the players who choose to make the leap to start playing Flesh and Blood, for them to stay in.
That too.
That's fair.
And, like, I think that it will, once it gets rolling, it'll get more adoption. Okay. And I don't know if it'll surpass it necessarily, but I think there will be a point that there's more people that could potentially have Living Legend decks, but I don't know. It's so much just on them and how much they want to push the format versus just like, this exists.
Yes.
I think if they wanted it to be in 10 years, the format that we know every player that plays Armories also has a Living Legend deck, they could do that.
They could. It's up to them. LSS. It's up to LSS. But you guys would be fans of Living Legend becoming more and more prominent.
Only
for sure.
you can make Living Legend a format.
Yes, we need support from the players. Now, since all three of us have Magic experience, I'll follow up with another question. Is it fair to say that Living Legend should adopt the role or fulfill the role of, call it, modern, legacy, and vintage of Flesh and Blood for the presumable future?
Throw me a hardball. That was a softball.
No, I think so. I think in as far as Living Legend is not kitchen table Flesh and Blood.
Okay.
It is not.
I think that's like basically what Blitz
It's-
feels.
No, I don't think so. I think they need to figure Blitz out. But Living Legend is not kitchen table Flesh and Blood. It's not. You can play whatever you want. Nor do I think it should be. I think Living Legend should be somewhat curated in order to make a positive OP experience.
Okay.
That being said, I think the fact that the format is sanctioned gives some more credibility. Like, it's really hard, I think. Like, our friend Ethan, he worked on a format called Clash. And Clash is, like, this format that's really fun, but it's really hard to get, like, hey, guys, you want to go to the store and play Clash?
Okay.
It's not an accepted format. And so, sure, like, you and your
And
three...
you saw that a ton with Magic. Like, there's all these, like, wacky formats that started popping up before COVID. Like, what was the one where you had, like, both a commander and a spell? Like, you had, like, a legendary spell
Clash?
or something like
Is
that.
it Clash?
Clash is the
Brawl?
Clash is the Flesh and Blood one.
Was it Brawl?
Maybe Brawl.
No. That was like standard commander, right? Or Pioneer commander? I don't fucking remember.
God.
It was some stupid ass format that didn't really take
All
off.
of Magic is stupid ass these days, guys. Come on now.
But it's like but I think like without the LSS stamp of approval, be like, hey, this is like a thing. And I think in Magic even like Commander, I think some people. Okay, I might get flagged for this.
I'll do it myself.
For saying this, but I think Wizards.
I'll do it for you, commander players out there. I'm one of you.
No, I think Wizards of the Coast embracing Commander as, you know, like a sanctioned format where they host events and stuff has done net positive for the adoption of Commander.
Okay, I won't fight you over that.
People are like, how I hate WotC and how they keep pushing Commander and
I hate their interaction with Commander in other facets, like them printing cards in the format and a million other things.
And reprinting it in 6 months, and another 6 months, and another 6 months.
That's the Yu-Gi-Oh model. That's why I got out of Magic. I was like, wait a minute, I was already in this relationship.
I've been here
once.
before. I'm
Just
feeling
take
deja
off
vu.
the Scooby-Doo mask, and I'm like, no, it was Konami the whole time.
All right, gentlemen. Trying to land the plane. Are there any burning questions that you'd like to pose and discuss with the community regarding Living Legend?
I want the community to weigh in, leave a comment on what you think. If you stayed this far, give him a Scooby snack. What do you want Living Legend to be?
Okay.
Like 2 years, 3 years from now, what do you hope your Living Legend experience is when you like go to your local store and play a Living Legend Armory, or you go to the next, I don't know, like Flesh and Blood calling event, Pro Tour, and there's like some Living Legend side events. What kind of experience do you want to have?
Okay.
I'll
That's
jump
fair.
off of that and go, what would make you build your first Living Legend deck?
Yeah.
Like, what would it take for you to actually sleeve one up?
Is there a catalyst? Yes.
Like I was saying, like, is it like a skirmish or something like that? Like them just doing some sort of local event? Is it there's armories? Is it that there's just a second thing every week that you can go to do it? Is it that there's majors that you can go to? Like, what makes you get out of bed and go, I want to rainbow fuse and eat my crayons?
I know there's some people who just like, they get out of bed. It's like, this is my once a year modern GP. I'm going to that one.
Okay.
So
That's fair. That's fair. All right, guys. We're approaching 45 minutes on the episode, and I think we've discussed this amongst many, many, many other tangents. So remember, everybody, to like, comment, subscribe. Wait. Please support the FaBled Runaways. You can do that by joining the Runaways Patreon or joining the long game, FaBled Hunters Patreon as well. Both end up supporting the FaBled Runaways on their journey to greatness. That said, twiddle that notification button.
You can also check me out on my channel,
Pheano.
It's just Pheano. It's easy.
Pheano
not
on
just
YouTube.
Pheano.
Not just Pheano.
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 Pheano on YouTube. And yeah, so twiddle that notification button, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Bye. Let's go Runaways.
like a dream.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Monitor, darling.
It feels surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at
All this
that. Is
stained glass.
absolutely insane.
Honey, I took a photo of it. Honey, we're all glowing. See?
Amazing.
You got the white fan.